What's up, guys? This is NLW bringing you another video. Before you guys started, be sure to watch the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit up the notification bell, follow me on Twitter at RisingFlame2011. Check out my YouTube videos. I do have playlists, and be sure everything is said. It does help a lot. I always appreciate the support and feedback. I'm gonna make this video not lengthy, like the last several videos have been, but I'm going to talk about several different things, and it's going to kind of jump around to different things. So first off, Sanes. We all know I love it, and the Sanes community was more than willingly to let me back in the community, which I was very thankful for. And this is there was something that I was afraid of, and that was being attacked again. And I've had a bad history with being attacked after sharing Sanes related stuff. That post that I posted 2 days ago with Sonic and Blaze in their like wedding, or be like wedding outfits and stuff, like Sonic in like a tux and Blaze in a beautiful dress. Well, somebody decided to go to my account, go to the post, and comment, "Ew." Now, I discovered this not too long ago, actually, just when I got up. I looked on my phone, because I always look at notifications to see if there's, anything new. And that came up, and I'm like, why do you have to comment that if you're just gonna block me? Because that's what they ended up doing. They ended up blocking me for no reason whatsoever, just because I liked and posted on A's. They commented "ew" and then were a bunch of cowards, and then they blocked me. They were an NSFW account anyway, so it's not a big worry, and it was really disgusting. So because I looked on my second account. I use my second account for so many things besides posting stuff. Making sure nobody is spreading misleading information about me, or doing retarded things off of posts of mine. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you comment "ew" and then block me? Like, you could have just let me reply instead of you being a coward. And it doesn't make any sense to me, honestly, that they did something like that. But like I said, this is something that I've had happen before a lot with Sanes. I post Sanes stuff and people go after me for it. Like, let me enjoy it, please. Like, there is no canonship whatsoever. Like, seriously, like, it's utterly ridiculous that people are going after me again. Like, I did nothing to you. I'm just posting Sane's art and crediting the artist, okay? That's all I'm doing. I'm not even saying anything else. I'm just saying art by this artist, and then where I found it off of. That's all I'm saying. That's all I do for those posts. I don't say anything extra. All the other comments are from Sanezers. They are so happy to see me back. I stayed away from Sanes about more than a year, because I was just being attacked again, and then this happened. And this is what I was talking about the whole time, was that anytime I post Sanes, some moron is going after me and commenting something ridiculous and then blocking me, or acting like a complete baby about it. Like, they're a Shad Ace fan, so whatevs, I guess. I don't really care about that ship anyway. It doesn't even come. I don't even ship it at all. Giratina, Sanes, and Blazy are my 3 ships that I do. People still think it's weird that I ship 2 Pokemon together, but you know what? That's just how I roll. I do things that nobody else would ever think of doing. The next thing I want to talk about was the video of the Crew 2 that I made the other night. So, you know how I did the first 20%, and yes, I am very sorry yet again for the disturbance of me dropping my phone. I'm pretty sure I bumped it with my arm, even though it's physically impossible to look at evidence of it. I'm pretty sure I banged the chair with my arm, and that's what caused everything to fall. I am sorry about that. And, yeah, that I don't know what caused me to do that. There are just some things that, for some reason, I start shaking for literally no reason when nothing is happening. Like, if it's talking with a friend, if I'm recording, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I just start shaking for no reason. And it really bothers me that I do that, because I looked back at the footage and it stalled out for like 15-20 minutes. Not minutes, oh my god. If it was 15-20 minutes, I would have restarted the video. I would have deleted the old recording and would have done a new one. 15 to 20 seconds I looked. Mainly because I was frantic and I didn't bother picking up my phone until after, but I paused the recording to get everything else set back up, and my phone set back up. My phone did not crack, thankfully, but still, that was a big scare, and I really hope that does not happen again. And that event that I was doing in the video, I decided to not finish it. I got to about 50% of the way there after I was just like, you know what, you know, it's not because I wanted to not do it, it's because it was late, I was getting super tired, I felt like I could have fallen asleep at any moment. So I decided to stop at 50%, because by that time it was after 3 a.m. Like, no lie. Like, it was getting really late. I started that video at like 11. Or no, after 9. And I decided to just... It's not that I couldn't finish it. Getting really tired of yawning here. I mean, I just woke up. But it's not that I couldn't have finished it. It's more or less I care about my health, I care about my body, and I don't want to overwork it through the night. I can't speak. I did not want my body to be forced to stay up throughout the entire night while I was constantly yawning. So I just decided to call it quits at 50%, and that's how it ended. And then I just went to bed afterwards. But yesterday I did one that was even longer, but was able to finish that. Alpha Grand Prix, 2,068 miles. And I freaking sat on the corner of my bed and did the whole thing. Start to finish. Each lap, or each percent, was 5 to 7 minutes. Do mind you, about every lap was 1%. And the course circled around 4 separate towns, 1 city. The area was pretty massive, of the size that the course took up. The course layout was probably about 20 to 30 miles long. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. 20 to 30 miles in length. and I managed to get through that. But I started before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got finished at 1:57 in the morning the next day. I set the world record for that event too. There was actually 2 events yesterday that I set world records for, despite not having very many people. The first one only had 3, and then the one that I did finished last night, had 6. It's not big by any means. That it was just very, very, very few people. But I'm on top of the leaderboards for those 2. Like, my time is the one to beat. That's the one that people will go for. I am proud of that, and that completely makes up for what happened with the hypercar event that I did that was over 620 miles in length, finishing 12th out of 360 people. I meant 15th out of 360 people. Or it was 380. It was 380 people. 386. I don't know. It was one of those numbers, I don't remember. But I did it in 8 hours and 24 minutes. If that was the 1,200 miler, then that would have probably maybe have taken about an hour or so less. The difference with this one that I did last night to the trip one that I did the other night was it was literally just speed. Nothing else. The turns were not even that difficult. I didn't have to brake for any of them because the Alpha GP cars handled just so well that I was taking corners at like 260, 265 miles an hour without hesitation. Despite me making quite a few mistakes, I still managed to beat the next person's time by just about 20 minutes. Those times in that event were really spread out. I have a picture on my phone of it, of the different times, and yeah, they're pretty spread out in terms of time and length. I think people are going to have a difficult time beating that time, and to be honest, I think that record time is going to stay. That is now the world record time. I now hold the world record time for that event. Absolutely incredible. Like I said, world recording those 2 events honestly make me feel so happy, and it doesn't even bother me the fact that I didn't finish the trip one anymore. It really doesn't bother me. I'm still gonna keep that video, so that will be uploaded, but I didn't end up finishing it. I got to about 50%. So the next thing that I want to talk about is Jirachi. As I know I've been talking about Jirachi these last several videos, but this one is different compared to the other ones. It's not going to explain why I love Jirachi, because we all know I love Jirachi. Sits right behind Victini. It's really not a surprise, and nobody should be surprised by the moves that I've been making. If you've seen the news yesterday, I did post about the Jirachi news that yes, Jirachi is now number 2 all time in my favorite Pokemon list, surpassing Weavile. If you didn't see this coming, then I don't know what to say. But if you did see it coming, then you shouldn't be surprised that it happened anyway, because it was going to happen. Victini and Jirachi, my 2 favorite legendaries / mythicals / whatevers, whatever you want to call them, mythicals, legendaries. I just call them legendaries because I think they're good enough to be legendaries anyway. They are very much deserving to be 1-2. Very much so. Now, but that is not what I'm here to talk about. But yes, I did want to say that Jirachi did pass Weavile, and it's honestly not even close. Victini and Jirachi are in their own little world right now together, probably hugging it out and having a good old time. Who knows where? Probably in the nighttime sky. Even though it is the crack of morning here. Well, not really. It's a couple hours into the morning. But they're probably hanging out somewhere, doing fun stuff, and having a good old time in space. But there's one thing that I want to talk about before I end the video. If you guys have remembered the small bits of pieces of time that I have mentioned about, remember the Pichu and Carlia stuff that I mentioned in my Amateur League GT World Championship first video of 3. Yes, because that championship was a big old mess to try and record because I made so many mistakes. And I really wish it would have come out better. I mentioned it Deep Forest and Apricot Hill about, if you guys remember, the Mecha Pichu and Mecha Carlia stuff. Well, I happen to have come across something even better than that. And I have an image of it saved in my photo gallery, and I did post it yesterday. A freaking Mecha Jirachi model exists. There is one for Celebi as well, which I was really glad to see that too. But this one has to be the icing on the cake for my favorite Mecha version out of any Pokemon I've ever seen. It doesn't matter if they have one or not. Mecha Jirachi looks so freaking cool. As in Pokemon Scarlet, the Mecha versions would usually be called something with iron in its name. It would have iron, and then it would have whatever word it has after. Like Gallade, one of my favorite Pokemon, top 10. His iron variant, Mecha variant, would be, I forgot what it was called. I should know this, honestly. It's gonna be funny because I'm gonna probably remember it right after I'm done recording. Iron Valiant, that's what it was. Iron Valiant was what it was called. That's basically a mecha version of Gallade. So, this one is called Iron Star. Now, most people would look at me and say, you're not the person who would even talk about robotic things. You're right, I'm not, because I don't really talk much about that. I'm usually just the gaming and sports kind of guy. And kind of like this, like vlogging and whatnot. But this version of Jirachi is so cool. I don't even care what anybody says. This is the best mecha robotic based creature I have ever seen in my lifetime. Better than anything. The reason why I'm not saying Victini is because he doesn't have one. I've tried looking all over for one, and he doesn't have one. So Jirachi is the next best thing. I have an image of it in my gallery. I posted it yesterday. Iron Star. Obviously, it's not mine, but whoever made it did a really dang good job with it. It is so freaking awesome. So awesome, I could use it as a cover photo. It's so cool. And it makes perfect sense that it would be steel and electric type. I mean, most robotics would probably be an electric type of some kind. And obviously they're made of steel, metal, iron, whatever. And The be steel type, clear as day. I mean, it is labeled as a steel and electric type. The aura of it is just so awesome. Like, I started talking about it last night while I was doing the 2,000-mile event that I did in the Crew 2 last night, and I'm like, this is the coolest mecha I've ever seen in my life. Seriously. Go check it out. It's absolutely amazing. And if Victini would have had one, it would be tough to compete with Iron Star. It's actually really cool. It makes a lot of sense, though, because Jirachi basically is a star. Basically is. I mean, what's not to be a star if it doesn't make wishes? If it doesn't make wishes, then technically it's not a star. Or a shooting star. Because, well, most people know that if you have your eyes closed and you say something and a shooting star comes, it'll most likely come true. I'm not big into wishful thinking, but I think this stuff could be true. Honestly, it's just so cool just seeing a mecha variant of my second all-time favorite Pokemon. Jirachi still sits 19th all-time on my characters list, but I'm expecting a jump soon. I really am. I don't think Jirachi's going to end up 19th overall. Jirachi is more than capable of being a top 10, maybe even top 5. Passing some of the hardest characters to pass, some of the characters that I've loved for the longest time and cherished the most. That would be interesting because that would be, out of the top 5, that would be 3 Pokemon in the top 5. Most by any series. No other series has had 3 characters in the top 5. No Mario, no Sonic, no Zelda, no, not even Spyro even, because, Spyro and Allura are 2 of my favorite characters in the Spyro series, so it makes sense that they would be there. But please, you have to see this mecha variant of Jirachi. It is so cool, and it is literally the only one I found. Like, I couldn't find any other one but that one. It is so cool. I could go on and about it for so long. Like, imagine what it could do. Like, its powers. I actually read, well, of course, I would read the description. That's what I did with Mecha Pichu. I read the description. Basically, short story. If you try to command it, it will try and attack you. It does not want anybody commanding it. It only commands itself. And will only use destruction to resolve the problem. And in real world situations, destruction leads to worse things like wars, natural disasters, riots, anything, explosions, people getting, them having to be buried in the dirt. That's the cleanest way I could say that. Destruction does not lead to anything good. It leads to bad things every time. There has never been a story I've come across, whether it's on the world news or it's in an article in a newspaper or on Google somewhere, where destruction has caused a good thing to happen. It does not. So, Iron Star, you can't command it. It will command itself, and if you try to, even just trying to be the nicest person in the world to it, it will seek havoc on you, and it will try to physically attack you. But it's still cool. If I could die from anything, I would die from my second all-time favorite Pokemon in the world. Like, other than Victini. Victini's too nice. Victini would never attack anybody unless it's protecting people and it's saving the world. Then if there's a danger, then he will probably resolve it himself, because he means victory. I mean, come on, man. And I watched a video last night of Pokemon, and Victini was mentioning it about nine different like Pokemon types that are never used. How is he not a fire fairy? He literally has wings on his butt. He literally learns fairy type moves. And he's got he's the god of victory. That's such a fairy kind of thing. I'll save that for another video, but I was so glad that I seen it. It made me smile instantly, as usual. And yep. Wings on the bum. I love Victini so much, man. Never gets old. But anyway, go check out Iron Star. If you look up Mecha Jirachi, it should be the very first thing you should see. And please, don't try and command it. It will end very bad. It's my favorite mecha variant of a Pokemon, and honestly, I'm not big into robotics and stuff because I'm not the kind of guy who would work with that stuff, but it is so freaking cool. Be careful what you wish for. You see what I did there? Pun absolutely intended. If you didn't catch on to it, well, I don't know. But if you caught on to it, kudos. Jirachi is a wishful Pokemon, and Iron Star would probably be the same. And, you know, everybody knows Jirachi makes wishes come true in the future. We all know this. I literally talk about it every day now. But anyway, I wanted to kind of get some of those things across with Sonays, you know, the video about the Crew 2 that I made the other day, and then Iron Star, the Jirachi robotic variants. Like I said, if Victini would have had one, it would be different, but there were probably a couple other things that I wanted to talk about, but I'll save them for another time. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for this video. Normally I don't record in the morning, but I just kind of wanted to make this. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit up the notification bell, follow me on Twitter at RisingFlame2011. Check out my YouTube videos. I do have playlists, and make sure everything is said. It does help a lot. I just appreciate the support and feedback. Remember, be careful what you wish for if you ever come across Iron Star. Really be careful. Be wishful of what you do to it. And maybe good things will happen. I don't know. But anyway, this is NLW saying, catch you guys in the next one.